Tangentially related to the whole trigger warning thing is using an asterisk to censor a name, generally by replacing the first vowel with the asterisk. It looks something like this. Trigger warning, sexual assault, rape, and murder, with various letters being censored. I'm sure you've noticed this before. And yeah, it's pretty messed up, isn't it? Jesus. But the point is, it goes hand in hand with trigger warnings, simply as part of the warning. So that you don't have to be even further triggered by looking at the full word of murder or rape. Now, what this actually comes from is a website called asterisk.com, I think it's pronounced. I don't know, it's Turkish and I can't pronounce any of that. But it was a Turkish ultra-nationalist website, kind of like stormfront.org, but for Turkish people. Back in 2009, the admins of that forum wanted to censor debates about Kurdish people. So they set up a filter on their forums. You couldn't post Kurd or Kurdish. To bypass this, people started to put an asterisk in place of the U in Kurd. And eventually that form of Kurd began to be used as an insult. This floated around the Turkish internet for a while, but around 2012, I remember seeing it on some more obscure sites like 4chan or other smaller message boards. By 2017, it had broken into the English mainstream. And now you see it all the time, like this. Wake up, still not British. Day improves noticeably. It started as slang terminology to disparagingly refer to people of different ethnic or national origins. But when it crossed the language barrier and jumped over to the English side of the internet, because of the asterisk's already heavy use in censorship, the two uses combined and became their own very strange phenomenon. The combination of censorship, as well as adding the ethnic or group identity element, basically made the asterisk a perfect pairing with stuff like trigger warnings, which is why you get messages like this. Trigger warning, misogyny, incels, murder. I recently proposed to our project manager of introducing performance metrics to keep our developers in check. We will collect the data and use it to determine whether employee productivity is up. This absolute incel, with a censored E, of course, emailed me this bigoted message. I have submitted to HR his threatening response. And the message was just basically, implement this and I will kill you. I mean, I can see how that could be taken as a joke, but you know what? You're working in a professional environment, maybe you should cool it. But nonetheless, incel is censored. Here, I'm kind of curious, actually. What if we did something like INC*L and search for that specific... What do we get? What is it with men making group chats talk about women they don't like? Incel behavior. Men of means don't do... Wait, women do this about men! Jesus. It's gonna make me sound like an incel, but VTubers don't make me... Why are you censoring incel? There's no... Oh, it's because... Oh, okay. I'm looking forward to an incel revolution when they have the first female bond. There's no way these people, these random-ass people are triggered. I mean, maybe. Why do they feel the need to do this? Alright, let's try murder. M*RDER. Yeah, when it comes to murder, these seem to be more, like, jokey, right? Like, they're kind of in on the joke, they get it. Fair enough. How about rape? Why slut-shaming contributes to rape culture. Enthusiastic consent and sex positivity are widely undesirable. I'm not gonna listen to your nonsense. But how soft do you have to be to censor the word rape when talking about rape culture? The superintendent looked the father in the eye and said that not only did the rape not happen, but the student did not exist. The sheriff's department found and charged the student with 2 counts of forcible Why are you censoring sodomy? Sometimes it's hard to tell whether it's a joke or not, but eventually it does become rather ridiculous, doesn't it? I understand that doctors are including obesity, there's the censored one, obesity, as an underlying medical condition that leads to death in COVID patients. Do these doctors have any idea what kind of impact this has on families? To be told that their loved one's body shape is partly to blame for their death? It's true, though, isn't it? Do you have any idea what kind of impact being told that being fat has negative health consequences? This is... I can't believe that I'm seeing this stuff. Nobody can be told anything negative now. These are all spoiled children. Give me one good reason for recording fatness as a cause of death. Well, how about if you're so fat that your heart can no longer beat because it's encased in a globe of fat and it just can't move anymore? Imagine being so triggered by the word obesity that you have to censor it. It's fucking wild, isn't it? Remember when the fragile white... There's I guess they're... I don't know why there's something fragile, but fragile white men made these is stupid a slur that needs to be censored? Oh, you know what? I think the next frontier in all this stuff will be like intelligence-ist. If you're too smart, you're too privileged, and we need to equalize you with all the dumb people. Now, this is all fun and games, but this tendency of using the asterisk in this way actually took a swerve at one point, where they began using it on, like, real events or real people's names, as if talking about somebody, just referencing that they exist as a human, is just too triggering. You can't do it in public. Content warning, trigger warning, hi, just a heads up, if you see Jake Paul pop up on your feeds, it's probably about sexual assault and human trafficking. So please be careful when reading. Dude, never drive a vehicle ever again. I'm not going to comment on J.K. Rowling's new book, other than that the protagonist's ridiculous name makes me laugh every time I see it. That's right, J.K. Rowling went from, like, the progressive darling to persona non grata. Progressive non grata. Here, let's see if I can, like, do this. You know, search Rowling. I know this is nothing new, but I go through phases where I'm reminded how deeply hurt I am by J.K. Rowling, and I can't let it go. I am so angry at the fact that I can't look or think about Harry Potter without getting incredibly sad or feeling so betrayed. I wonder how they would react if they, like, walk by a bookstore and there's, like, a sign for, like, a new book or something and it says, by J.K. Rowling. Do they have seizures? Do they just start, like, shaking on the ground? TERFs can have Rowling and Chappelle. I'm going to have to do a video on this Chappelle thing, aren't I? It just keeps blowing up with the Netflix walkouts and stuff. Breaking. White feminist queen Margaret Atwood joins the ranks of J.K. Rowling. And who I can't even tell who this person is. Like, I can't recognize. Who is this person? With these censors. I can't even look it up. In fact, the whole can't even look it up seems to be the purpose of some of this. The use of asterisks in this way eventually transitioned not only to show how the person that you're talking about is they who must not be named, ironically enough, but also because a lot of these people, especially if they're on Twitter, they think that these larger known figures, these public figures, these creators sometimes, that they name search themselves. And I'm sure people name search themselves at least once in a while. You know, I might do it like once a year or something just out of curiosity. But most people who are too busy, you know, doing their own thing, they're not spending all this time on Twitter or on Google name searching themselves. They're not, like, reading their own Kiwi Farms threads or something. Except Shoe on Head, she does actually do that. But just called the TCU PD to report the large social gathering caused by Steven Crowder, and they told me that TCU gave him a permit to be there. They can't do anything else. Like, do you think Steven Crowder just sits up at night searching for his name on Twitter? And you do this so that he won't notice that you're being critical of him in public. Like, it's either that, or you genuinely think that the name Steven Crowder is triggering. It's one of the two. So I guess pick which way that you're going to be stupid then. Alright, I gotta see how far some of this goes, okay? Let's try out Sargon. Do you think it would be... the A that's got censored or the O? Let's try the A first. That video of Sargon reacting to the don't say the R slur PSA by perpetually repeating every slur in the video and angrily shouting, "Who the fuck do you think you are, my mum?" tells you exactly at which stage of the development his brain got stuck on. What stage do you mean? You mean the stage that you don't want to be told by some fucking nanny what to do? I don't know, dude. You sound kind of like a retard. When you see a decent long play YouTube channel that likes and follows Sargon of a kid, I'm not going to name any names, but at this point I know a number of very large gaming YouTubers who watch my content. Hi guys, by the way. People who are way past the 1 million sub mark. Not gonna reveal who they are, but yeah, if you have a favorite gaming channel on YouTube, they're probably watching anti-socialist content. And good. I can hear my dad listening to Sargon of a... You didn't even censor it properly. And also, I guess he wants to learn about the tenets of dadism, since he is a dad after all. This is back in 2016. They've been doing this for a while. Sargon fans are upset that Grey Bloke is an anti-feminist Nazi now. Not politically incorrect like he supposedly was before. Actually, you go back to like a lot of YouTubers from like 2010, 2011, 2012. All of them said stuff like retard and faggot. All of them. Even people who are squeaky clean now, like Veritasium.
It makes every single person it interviews look like a complete retard.
Or Vsauce.
I'm Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman. Get your shit together. Oh. My God. There you go. That's actually to get you to stop.
Yeah, they had that stuff in their backlog. I saw someone the other day describing that Sargon fuckwit thus. He's actually a decent guy, he's just an edgelord troll. Those things are fundamentally mutually exclusive. Really? Wait, really? Like, no, they're not. You can fuck around. You can make jokes. You can be not serious sometimes. You can engage in banter and still be a good person. I feel like I'm unearthing hidden gems by searching for people's names like this. Yeah, let's try something else. How about we try Ben Shapiro. No, just do Shapiro. Maybe something like that? Let's try it. What do we get? Oh god, Kyle Callaghan. That guy with the glasses left over. Just had a minor heart attack seeing the name of the actress playing Dorothy. It's not Ben Shapiro's sister, they just have the same name. Imagine having a heart attack because the sister of a political pundit that you don't like might have a public-facing job. Fucking unreal. These people are soft, dude. Someone please come and shoot me. My older brother's listening to Ben Shapiro's review of The Squid Game at 1.5 times speed at full volume. Based! But listen though, he's not at Giga Chad levels yet. You have to watch it at 2 times speed. My new hobby is censoring the names of people I don't like Ben Shapiro. I think it's so funny for no reason. Me too, buddy. Alright, let's try Dankula. Think we'll get something for Dankula? The absolute shock of seeing someone retweet Dankula onto my timeline. Been a while since I had to hit unfollow manually. Yeah, it's rough, isn't it? To see his wholesome takes about his child and his wife, maybe some free speech stuff. Every once in a while, that picture of his balls with like a smiley face on him. If I hadn't done the tweet that Count Dankula replied to, would he have replied to somebody else instead with the same thing? Am I taking one for the team? Or have my actions inadvertently caused more fascist bullshit to be in the world than there would have been otherwise? This is your brain on pure consequentialist ethics, guys. Oh my god, I said something that an undesirable touched. I need to sit here for the next 6 hours and calculate this shit out. My face when I block all the weird Dankula fanboys in my... Hold on a minute. What? You're white. You're fucking white, dude. What is this digital-ass blackface you're engaging in here? Get the fuck out of here. I see Dankula is complaining cancel culture is stopping him from ever getting a normal job. It's all the mean lefties' fault. Nothing to do with the idea nobody would want to employ an unwashed cunt whose very public, unapologetic, racist, misogynist bullshit landed him in court. You mean teaching a dog how to salute? How to do the Nazi salute? Like, is that what we're talking about? You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna recreate that. As soon as I get a dog, I'm recreating it. Fuck it. Sorry, Naomi. Content warming, transphobia. She ratted out a trans sex worker to Count Dankula for some reason. Here's what happened. A UK Labour peer referring to trans women as creatures. Never mind that shit. What's her name? It's for research. So hold on. It's problematic. It's problematic if you put porn up and then somebody that you let's say you don't agree with politically decides to whack off to it. What the fuck? Wait, you call this ratting out a trans sex worker? Ratting out to what end? Cummies? I wonder. I think we'll get something for Arch. I mean, his name starts with A, so it'd be like RCH, something like that. I don't know. Let's see. That doesn't seem like it. Probably the same for V as well. Like his name is too it's too short and it's too relatively normal. And on the flip side of that, there's no way you're getting anything from my name. Like, what would it be? Taku? Something like that? Like, look at that. There's no way that's getting anything. No, of course not. Some of us are just uncensorable, I guess. And in fact, if you were to search for SFO, you would get stuff about the airport, the San Francisco International Airport. What's really funny is that Bad Bunny, yes, the $5 girl.
$5 a month!
Yeah, her. She does this for Destiny and Vosh constantly. Like, half her Twitter account is about talking about them, and yet she censors their name every single time. And to be honest, searching that censored version of Vosh dredges up some of the funniest leftist infighting stuff I've seen in a while. Vosh is definitely real chaser energy for smacking his big manly penis against inferior trans girl penis. Oh my god, dude. How does anybody take this guy seriously? Y'all, I'm just never talking about Vosh again. I'm so fucking tired of getting well actually'd a dozen times whenever you ask the most simplest, most basic questions. I don't care. He's a Fed. It's so cringe when people say like his name is some kind of trigger word. You normalize this stuff, you know? You already treat these trigger words seriously. So on what grounds do you stand when you complain about this stuff? I mean, it's public knowledge at this point that Vosh engaged in some weird sexual harassment / grooming stuff years ago. He's admitted it on his own channel even. If his victim decided to say Vosh in this manner with a censored letter, how could you possibly object? It sounds like you're just a Vosh fan who doesn't like the fact that your favorite internet e-celeb is triggering. We're back on Movie Bob review. So did Doug Walker go full right wing to get his subs back up, or is he an angry post-left bro now? Doug Walker he's just a movie guy. He's a nostalgia critic. He's like the most milquetoast of internet people. And he's the guy that you have to censor for, eh, Movie Bob? Doug Walker, left behind by the superior future. It is awfully fucking weird how many people are chummy with Doug Walker at... Okay. I thought it was just gonna be Movie Bob. People are actually doing this one. I remember seeing this back during the New Guy thing. I don't understand why stealing from rich people is bad. Isn't it always morally correct to steal from the mega rich? Like, if Elon Musk got a garage full of Tesla stolen from him, I'd be laughing too. But she says gamer bro. If she's referring to someone like PewDiePie, well, he's racist as hell, so... This individual just seems to be a moral leper. Alright, let's do PewDiePie. Here we go. Yep. Lots of nonsense. Are you gonna next PewDiePie's exclusive deal? This... Alright. Literally supports PewDiePie. If you find PewDiePie attractive, you're not seeing heaven. It's wild. It's just this whole video. It's been kind of nonsense, to be honest. This probably isn't one of my greatest. But the point is that they think either one, these names are actually trigger words. Two, they think all these creators actually have the time or the care to name search themselves. Or three, they want to shit talk somebody online and not receive any kind of clapback from people who disagree with them. And so they make themselves a bit more unsearchable. You know what? For old time's sake, let's do Gamergate. When you're trying to inform the FBI the siege of Washington was actually the act of a secret cabal of gamers to control the government called Gamergate, but they won't stop laughing. This one is going to be more jokey than the others, I'm pretty sure. Oh no, wait. Never mind. Lindsay Ellis is taking it seriously. I'm reminded of when Gamergate happened, and Todd in the Shadows wrote an article condemning their movement, and all of these dudes were like, man, I thought you were cool, and his response was, where did I go wrong that you thought I'd agree with you? It's as we've said before, you've all cultivated an edgy audience, and then you turned into moral busybodies. The craziest example of all, though, in my opinion, is Sophia Narwitz. Now, Sophia Narwitz is a friend of mine. She's a trans woman, a journalist, a streamer. She did on-the-ground reporting in Minneapolis during the George Floyd riots, and she likes to spend her spare time on Twitch playing the absolute worst fucking games that I've ever seen.
You know what? Let's do the feminist robot game. Let's do Can Androids Pray? This is narrative experience about angry femme mech pilots at the end of the world.
And so we literally have Sophia derangement syndrome now. I get the biggest erection when people are afraid to say my name. I have a priori finished my next piece, which should come out on either the 9th or the 10th. It ties neatly into my Sophia Narwitz piece as a broader critique of the independent right-wing media ecosystem as power-coddling bootlickers. People know who Sophia Narwitz is. I've never heard of A. Khaled. Stop retweeting Sophia Narwitz. She may be on the ground for the Minneapolis stuff, but she's a right-wing chud, responsible for endangering the lives of thousands of journalists. She's more of a journalist than those thousands. She's actually out there doing real reporting. There are plenty of people documenting the protests. You don't have to retweet Sophia Narwitz. It won't stop her blowing up because not enough people know who she is, but at least folks in the games industry can stand to avoid it, you know? Oh my god, this person is doing real work, and they're being credited for it. We need more trans people in gaming. No, not Sophia Narwitz. This is kind of like how Larry Elder was the black face of white supremacy for a while. If a majority of the content you create is reactionary outrage regarding games journalism instead of actual meaningful content about video games, then you don't have a say in how people should go do their fucking job. It costs $0 to mind your own business and not send hate mobs against marginalized writers. Sophia Narwitz and Colin Moriarty need to go outside for once in their miserable lives. Isn't Sophia Narwitz the marginalized one? She's trans. Does she have, like, what people call passing privilege, I guess? So she doesn't count? Like, what's going on? Right-wing trans women like Sophia Narwitz still tweet about Gamergate in the year 2021. She's not as relevant as people like ContraPoints or Blair White, but she's equally annoying. It honestly feels a bit like jealousy. Like these people who are taking off, who are nonetheless not approved by the progressive machinery, and all these other people are just angry about it. Thinking back on the time Sophia Narwitz shared a post from my little blog about how Rage 2 does a lazy job aping features of real genetic disease in its monster designs, with her chud audience and a bunch of boneheads try to come for me, a PhD human geneticist. This might have to be a video that I do, like a different video, but I've had this idea floating around in my head for the idea of semi-privacy, which I think really just boils down to wanting the entire world to be a safe space. But what it is people who have small platforms, they post something public, and it is public, but because they have such little reach, it feels private. And so when something that they post blows up, and it blows up for, say, a bad reason, like they gave a really bad take, or someone says, look how stupid this is, they're like, oh my god, my safe space is being breached, how dare you come in here and ruin my day. It's like, you posted it publicly, dude. Just because you're not used to having your dumb fucking takes noticed doesn't mean that suddenly your rights are being violated when somebody notices your dumb take finally. I get the feeling that Sophia Narwitz is like what would have happened if Valerie Keefe had mastered appealing to the far right through gaming and being the ultimate pick-me, a fee MRA. You gotta admit, pick-me Quisling is a hell of a grift. Hell of a look. The whole pick-me thing is just wild. Like, if you don't line up with their politics, and yet you are not, the straight white male, but you are part of a demographic that they claim to speak for, then you're not a real person, you're a pick-me. You're not doing it because this is what you want, or this is your temperament, or this is your real politics, or your real views, or your real desires. You're doing it because you want attention from the straight white men, and so you're saying, pick me. It's kind of amazing because these same people, back during when Gamergate was on, they decried the whole idea of the fake gamer girl. The girl who doesn't actually play video games, but she poses with a controller or something in her mouth. And then she says, look at me, silly boys, girls can video games too. And the actual nerds, the guys who, were picked on for playing games when they were a kid, because that was a thing when I was young, and got bullied by guys and girls alike for it, those nerds looked at those gamer girls and said, look how fucking fake you are. This is just you trying to get attention. And sometimes it was. But also sometimes real gamer girls who actually played video games, they got lumped in. And those guys said, you're just wanting attention, get the fuck out of here, which wasn't necessarily the right thing to do. But my point is, people on the left decried the nerds for doing that. And now they do it. They do it when they say, pick me. It's the same thing, but it's in reverse. These people didn't actually change how they behave. They're still the fucking bullies. They just change what team they play for. There's so much more. It's kind of insane. Unironically, all you have to do is just go check out Sophia Narwitz's Twitter. And it's just full of people who are losing their shit because she is the person that she is. And it's always amusing to see people melt down at somebody else's success solely because they don't like the politics of the other person. Like, how dare you be successful? How dare you have a life? How dare you even be around? Anyway, this wasn't actually a serious video. It's me goofing around for a bit, having some laughs. I'm not going to take everything seriously, I'm not that kind of guy. I hope showing you some of the idiocy that's out there in the world, especially on Twitter, was at least worth the time for you. Maybe you found it as funny as I did. Thanks for watching. I'll be streaming some more at twitch.tv/GameBoomers, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks very much, guys. I love you.